The time is 11:18 a.m. Good morning. The news headline: Troubled Abba Kyari finally exposed. The details. The former police commissioner Abba Kyari ordered the immediate diversion into police custody all cash and assets seized from slain abduction Lord Collins Imoni Ezenwa in 2018. According to police internal memo and testimonies of a police prosecutor, People's Gazette reports, the NBA Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee (LPDC) heard this from police prosecutor Nosa Uhumwango on Wednesday, as controversies have surrounded how the police handled Mr. Ezenwa's assets since his death in 2018. Kyari and his team were accused by Gift, the late kidnapper's wife, of attempting to take over her late husband's businesses and property, as well as withdrawing money from his account and putting it in their own pocket. Kyari, who is being investigated for fraud, denied any wrongdoing in 2019 after the Nigerian Human Rights Commission and Amnesty International accused the intelligence response team led by suspended police chief of illegally depleting the kidnapped Kingspin assets in separate petitions. Mr. Ohungwago, the IRT legal officer, claimed that on Mr. Kyari's orders, he diverted 3,075,300 naira generated from Mr. Ezenwa's The Ingrid Hotel and other property at Edinburgh, Enugu, into his private account in a 131-paragraph affidavit submitted to the NBA LPDC on June 30 this year and seen by People's Gazette. According to the police prosecutor, the order to transfer the funds to Mr. Kyari's personal Zenith account was made for reasons best known to him. Mr. Ohunwago also claimed that Mr. Kyari ordered a well-known cultist, Tochukwu Okeke, to collect rents from Mr. Ezenwa's property on his behalf. Mr. Okeke is being held by the Nigerian Army's 82 Division for alleged ties to IPOB gunmen in the southeast. Justice Ijeoma, a lawyer and human rights activist, filed a petition accusing the lawyer of conduct unbecoming of a legal practitioner, which he denied. Mr. Ijeoma accused Mr. Ohunwago of conspiring with other officers to illegally convert Mr. Ezenwa properties in his petition to the NBA LDPC. Mr. Kyari claimed that the NHRC had authorized him to recover money from the kidnapped Kingspin accounts and pay it into a private account, while the case was pending in court in a letter dated January 25, 2019, and that on the 25th of January 2019, the Nigerian National Human Rights Commission Presidential Panel on SARS Reform in Abuja directed the legal officer of the IGP IRT to recover money in the possession of anyone in control of the aforesaid properties and force them to account. In light of the foregoing, you are hereby directed or ordered to recover any money therefrom, take possession of it, and ensure that it is properly kept and safe in your custody. If it is paid into the police account, it should be difficult to recover and tender it before the court, as the matter is pending before the Honorable Federal High Court Owerri Judicial Division. Mr. Kyari later stated the court may make demand for it in the near future. Sources from the NHRC panel that met between the 14th and 26th of January 2019 denied the claim. Kyari couldn't be reached for comment, and police spokesman Franz Mba did not respond to a request for clarification on whether it is standard police procedure to divert assets under investigation into a private custody in order to preserve evidence. The police corporal Ezenwa was killed on the Enugu-Owerri Expressway on January 27, 2018, while traveling with two of his cousins who were also suspected kidnappers. The late kidnapper joined the police force in 2019 2009 and resigned in November 2017 on a salary of 47,000 naira. And the news in summary is actually talking about how Abba Kyari, who we all know is of recent is actually under investigation for some fraud with hush puppy, and the police commissioner, who is now a former police commissioner actually, Abba Kyari, he ordered that there should be some diversion of money into his private account, where all cash and assets were moved into a private custody. There was a particular abduction lord called E-Money, known as Ezenwa, and sometimes in 2018 he was actually killed along Enugu-Owerri Expressway, and that happened on January 27, 2018. And before then, he used to be a police officer, but he retired in November 2017 on a salary of 47,000 naira. And ever since then, I think he has been into kidnapping. And Kyari and his team were accused by Gift, who happens to be the late kidnapper's wife, of attempts to take over her late husband's business and property, as well as withdrawing money from his account and putting it into his own account as well. So now Kyari is being investigated for fraud, but he denied it that nothing of such was happening, that the Nigeria Human Rights Commission and Amnesty International accused the IRT led by a suspended police chief to illegally keep some money in his own personal account. And he said that the reason why that happened, according to Kyari, he said that the National Human Rights Commission actually authorized him to recover money from the kidnapper's account and pay it into his own personal account while the case was pending in court in a letter dated January 25th, 2019. He said on the 25th of January 2019 that there was a letter sent to him that in the light of the foregoing, he is directed to recover any money and take possession of it and ensure that it is properly kept and safe in his custody, because if it is paid into the police account, it will be difficult to recover and tender it before the court, as the matter is still pending before the Honorable Federal High Court in Owerri Judicial Division. Yet, the NHRC panel had come out boldly to say that this is not true, that it is wrong, and they have tried to get across to the spokesman of the police, known as Frāūd, to clarify if it was standard for the police procedure to divert assets under investigation into a private custody so as to preserve as an evidence before the court of law. And yet, up to now, Frāūd have not been able to respond to the request for this clarification. So the matter now is being exposed, and there are some fishy movement there that perhaps Abba Kyari did this and has embezzled the fund. The time is 11:27 a.m. Good morning.